Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to EO Sports Network Game 5 of our fictional ALDS winner. We'll take on the Boston Red Sox in the ALCS. Let's go ahead and take a look at that bracket. Elon Off here coming to you live from the home of the Cleveland Indians Progressive Field for this fictional showdown. As things get ready to get started here. Go to Baseball 2019. And there it is. Our NLCS is set up. It will be Atlanta and Philadelphia. Game 1 tomorrow in Atlanta. Winner gets to host Boston. Will Game 1 be right here in Cleveland? Or are we going back to Minute Maid Park? Excuse me. So let's go ahead and get things set up here. This game is Inside Pitch Baseball, brought to you by Inside Pitch Baseball by Inside Sports Games. Houston won games 1 and 2, both here in Cleveland, and then dropped both of the home ones in Minute Maid Park to the Indians. Oh, that's good to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brad Peacock gets the start for the Astros. Mike Clevenger, actually one of my personal favorites, gets the start for the Indians. Let's go ahead and load the lineups up. And there's the umpire. Play ball. Here we go. Let's go ahead and introduce you first to the visiting Houston Astros batting lineup. Fictional player Thomas Dixon playing third base and leading off. George Springer, the center fielder, bats second. Jose Altuve, the second baseman, bats third. Carlos Correa, the shortstop, will bat fourth. Marwin Gonzalez over in left field bats fifth. Josh Reddick, the right fielder, bats sixth. Uliski Gurriel, the first baseman, bats seventh. Carlos Beltran, the designated hitter, bats eighth. And Brian McCann, the catcher, will bat ninth. Defensive alignment for the Cleveland Indians. Michael Brantley over in left field. Austin Jackson in center. Lawson Hall in right. Infield featuring Carlos Santana at first. Jason Kipnis at second. Who plays third? Jose Ramirez over on third base with Francisco Lindor in shortstop. Battery featuring Mike Clevenger pitching to Yan Gomes. This is Clevenger's first appearance here in the postseason, as Cleveland was the number 2 team in the AL, so they got buyed directly to the ALDS. Thomas Dixon leads it off. He's batting .286 in the postseason, 3 RBIs, 6 runs scored. Clevenger, the first delivery to Gomes. 4-5. Tried. Almost got Dixon. He needed to be 9 or under, and he rolls a 10. Close call. Clevenger gets ready to deliver to Thomas. Fly ball, left field. Brantley camped out under it for out number 1. Next up is George Springer, batting .200 with a homer and 2 RBIs here in the postseason. Let's actually hold on one second. How many postseason games have the Astros played? They played 3 in the first season, and both of their series are going the distance. 6-5. Clevenger, it's going to be an error throw, or air check on the throw, excuse me. Ground ball to Ramirez. He fields it cleanly, kicks it over Santana. That's out number 2. Here's Jose Altuve batting .308 with 2 RBI runs scored. And this will be game number 8 of the postseason for them. Clevenger kicks and deals. Not even close. Jose Altuve wisely holds up there. And the delivery to Altuve. Pop this one high. Lindor camped out under it. 1-2-3 inning for the Indians. They'll now bring out Michael Brantley, Austin Jackson, and Jose Ramirez to face the Houston Astros. Let's go and introduce you to the Houston defensive lineup. Marwin Gonzalez over in left field. George Springer in center. Josh Reddick in right. Infield featuring Gurriel at first, Altuve at second, Dixon at third, and Correa at shortstop. Brad Peacock pitches to Brian McCann for the battery. This is Peacock's first start, but he has pitched 2 1/3 innings pitched in the postseason. In those 2 1/3 innings pitched, he allowed 2 hits and 1 strikeout and 1 walk. Now it's time to introduce you to the batting lineup for the Cleveland Indians. One second, just gotta refresh some stuff. First, leading off, left fielder Michael Brantley. Austin Jackson, the center fielder, bats second. Jose Ramirez at the hot corner will bat third. Lonnie Chisenhall, the right field's the cleanup spot at fourth. Francisco Lindor, the shortstop, will bat fifth. Edwin Encarnacion, the power hitter, is the designated man at the sixth spot. Carlos Santana, the first baseman, bats seventh, and Jason Kipnis, the second baseman, bats eighth, with Yan Gomes rounding out the nine. Leading off will be Michael Brantley, batting .333 with 2 RBIs here in the postseason. Brad Peacock ready to go for his first start, but this is going to be probably a fairly short appearance for him, I would imagine. Oh no, 4-5, yep, at the ballpark here, Progressive Field. 6-4, that's a single into shallow center field. And like that, the Indians are in business. This is the 2017 set, so you would think the favorite would be the Houston Astros, but the Cleveland Indians are the number 2 seed. Let's find out what happens. Range play to Austin Jackson. Who we testing? 3-6. Fly ball into center field, and an easy grab by George Springer, taking away the double. Here's Jose Ramirez with 1 down. Batting .118 in the postseason with only a singular run scored. Peacock delivers. Swing and a miss, and down goes Ramirez. Here's Lonnie Chisenhall, batting .286 with a homer and 4 RBIs. A delivery. Swing and a miss, and down goes Chisenhall. So a quick inning there. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. And we're going to the top of the second. No score. Correa, Gonzalez, and Reddick will face Clevenger. Carlos Correa batting .323 with 2 homers and 13 RBIs. Clevenger looking in. He delivers. Called strike 3. Down goes Correa. Beautifully placed pitch there by the right-hander. Next up, Marwin Gonzalez, .357 average, batting on a 28 at-bats, 2 runs scored, 7 RBIs, a homer, and a swiped bag. Switch hitting Gonzalez. 6-3, and he walked him. Marwin worked that one perfectly, and now here comes Josh Reddick. .241 average, 2 RBIs, 4 runs scored, with 1 down and a runner on first. That's Marwin. Bunt laid down beautifully by Reddick. It's fielded by Clevenger, popped up for out. Roll D6 versus lead runners. BR if higher, runner out. If roll higher, then BR, runner out. Okay, hang on. So he's going to advance. Oh, click on the bunt card. So Marwin advances, and they get out Reddick on the sacrifice attempt. Here's Mike Clevenger to face Yuliski Gurriel. .269 for Gurriel. No home runs with 2 RBIs. Runner in scoring position for Houston. Clevenger, 2 down. Delivers. And almost got the walk, but Gurriel swings at that one, ill-advised. Gurriel lines one right at Kipnis. He makes the grab, and we're going to the bottom of the second. No runs on no hits, no errors, and it's still no score. Cleveland will send out Lindor, Encarnacion, and Santana for the first time to face Peacock. Francisco Lindor looking to get that bat going, batting .188 in the postseason. 2 runs scored, 1 RBI, and a stolen base. Pitch by Brad Peacock. Oh boy, this one could bust him out of his slump. Driven deep into right field. If it's fair, it's gone. Yes! Francisco Lindor just put the Cleveland Indians up 1-0 and exercises the postseason demons that has been plaguing him up to this point. And I'm getting rid of that because I don't want to get the little copyright. There we go. Wow, what a hit by Lindor to put them up 1-0. The reigning AL champions looking to get back to the ALCS. They lost the World Series to the Washington Nationals in 7 games last year in 2018. 2-3, and this one's a walk. Edwin Encarnacion goes to first. Here's Carlos Santana batting .333 with an RBI and 4 runs scored. Would love to add to that. Range play at the ballpark. Who we testing? Against a right-hander that would fall outside of it. 2-3. Ground ball right in front of McCann. It's going to be close. He picks it up, throws to first, gets the first, net back to Correa for 2, and they get the double play. Great job there by Brian McCann to orchestrate that 2. It looks like it's a 2-3-4 double. Jason Kipnis due up batting .308 with 4 RBIs. Swing and a miss, and down goes Kipnis. And Peacock doing a great job here. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. Cleveland has a fresh lead, 1-0 here in game number 5 of the ALDS. Winner will play Boston in the ALCS starting Thursday. Carlos Beltran, Brian McCann, and Thomas Dixon due up for the Astros in the top of the 3rd. Carlos Beltran batting .214. The designated hitter's got 2 homers and 5 RBIs. Clevenger with the pitch. Fouled off by Beltran, so we'll roll again. And he walked him, so that'll only be the second base runner for the Astros. Pick off attempt by Clevenger, and nothing happening there. Next up, Brian McCann batting .308. 3 runs, 3 RBIs, and a homer. Pitch by Clevenger. Nothing happening there. Back to McCann for 4. Ground ball hit at Ramirez. Quickly over to Kipnis. Back to Santana. Got the double play. Great defense there by the Cleveland Indians. Reynolds joining us here at Progressive Field, taking his seat. He says, ooh, inside pitch, thank you. Clevenger with 2 down will face Thomas Dixon, who's 0 for 1. 2-1, and he strikes him out. Beautifully placed pitch by Clevenger. The bottom dropped out of that one like a magnet. And now it's off to the bottom of the 3rd. 1-0 Cleveland in game 5. Yan Gomes, Michael Brantley, and Austin Jackson due up for the Indians. Philip Reynolds, who you rooting for? And the winner plays Boston in the ALCS. Peacock looks in, kicks and deals. Nothing doing there, so we'll roll on Yan Gomes. Ground ball hit at Dixon. He easily fields it, gets it over to Gurriel, and that's out number 1. Michael Brantley due up now. 1 for 1. But down he goes looking. Beautiful pitch there by Brad Peacock, and it's 2 down. Austin Jackson, who's 0 for 1, only batting .167 in the postseason, and he's going to go down again. Great sequence of pitches there by Brad Peacock. On no runs, no hits, no errors, we're off to the top of the 4th. It's 1-0 Cleveland. Springer, Altuve, and Correa, they're combined 0 for 3 against Clevenger as we open up the top of the 4th. Clevenger with the delivery. Swing and a miss, and down goes Springer. Strikeout number 3 for Mike Clevenger, who's making his first postseason appearance. Philip Reynolds says, tough. Cleveland is an Ohio team, but I also like the Astros. So I guess you're just rooting for a great game then, Philip. Clevenger with the pitch. And he walks Altuve. So you got some speed on the bags. Pick-off attempt by Clevenger, and he picked him off. What a throw there by Clevenger to get him, and it's 2 down. He only had a 1-7 chance of picking him off. And he did it. How about that? 2 down, and he'll face Carlos Correa, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 4-4. Range play at Progressive Field. Who we testing? It's inside the home run range, so it could be a possible homer, except it's going to be a ground ball hit right at Jason Kipnis, and it's just past him. Carlos Correa is on. And now here's Marwin Gonzalez, who's looking for his first at-bat. He was walked his first time out. Clevenger allows his first hit here in the top of the 4th. The pitch. Down he goes. And Clevenger won't let the 1 run cross the plate. And it's still a 1-0 lead for Cleveland. No runs on 1 hit. Bottom of the 4th will bring Jose Ramirez, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Francisco Lindor, who hit the long bomb to open up scoring here in Game 5. I got to be honest, Philip, when I looked at what games were coming up for Game 5s, this was the one that excited me because I felt like the other one could get out of hand a little quickly, which we saw it did. This one, you just get the feeling these two teams are very well matched. Philip Reynolds says, I could be bought off. LOL. Peacock to Jose Ramirez, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Range play. Fly ball at Marwin Gonzalez. It's past him, and that's going to be extra bases. Ramirez is in with a stand-up double and a big chance for the Tribe to extend their lead and get back to the ALCS. Last year's, let me run through the World Series matchups since we started this back in 2016. 2016, the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Washington Nationals in 6. 2017, the Minnesota Twins beat the Washington Nationals in 8. Last year, the Washington Nationals finally got their ring in 7 over the Cleveland Indians. So Cleveland looking to get back to the World Series. Lonnie Chisenhall on second. The pitch, 3-2, and he walked him. And that sets things up beautifully for Francisco Lindor, who's batting .235, not an impressive number in the postseason. He's now got the home run, the only run in the game. Peacock takes a deep breath and fires. 3-5. Swing and a miss, and down goes Lindor. That'll set the stage for Edwin Encarnacion, who was walked his first time. Encarnacion would love to get a second World Series ring, as got one with the Blue Jays back in 2016. Air check. 5-4. Fly ball at George Springer, and no air. That's going to be a single. They wave Ramirez around. He'll score. Chisenhall will hold up. So it's 2-0 Cleveland, and Brad Peacock might find himself in a little bit of trouble. Philip Reynolds, I started a Mets 69, Reds 75 game today. Reds winning 2-0, top of the 4th, Mets up. Nolan Ryan versus Gary Nolan. Ooh, that's a great matchup. Peacock, we'll see if he stays in. If he allows one more run, you got to think his day's done. Carlos Santana, who's 0 for 1. Fly ball into left field. Marwin trying to get there. He can't. Unbelievable, he can't. And that's going to be the next run scored. Lonnie Chisenhall is in there. Edwin Encarnacion holds at third. And that'll do it for Brad Peacock. Three and 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks and 6 Ks. Brad Peacock, usually a guy that comes in. Michael Feliz is going to come in for Astros. I believe he's pitched 1 and 1/3 innings in the postseason thus far. He'll face Jason Kipnis, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Runners on second and third. Very precarious situation here. 4-5. Swing and a miss, and down goes Kipnis. And now Jan Gomes due up with 2 down. Can Feliz get them out of this jam? The middle, and that one run's going to score. They're waving Santana, and he'll score, and it's 5-0 Cleveland. And Mike Clevenger sitting in the dugout with a big smile on his face thinking, all right, I can really be aggressive now. I got 5 runs to play with. Feliz will pick to Brantley, who's 1 for 2. Brantley throws a range play. Who we testing? Fly ball at Marwin Gonzalez, and he can't get there. It's a double. Gomes holds at third, and the defense has let down Feliz. And now that's probably going to do it for the Astros. And they're going to go, they got to go to someone who's proven. And they're going to go to Michael Fiers. He's been proven for them throughout the season. He's 1-1 in the postseason. 4.78 ERA. Here we go. 6-4. Tried to get Jackson to chase that one, but it didn't work out. 6-6. Fly ball into right field, down in front of Reddick. That's going to be a base-clearing double. Gomes and Bradley both score, and it's 7-0. Cleveland, Houston's season slipping away if they don't get this final out. Here's Jose Ramirez, 1 for 2 with the double. Fly ball, deep right field, hooking, foul. Missed the homer by about 4 feet there. Pitch to Ramirez, 6-2. Fly ball into left field. Gonzalez makes the grab. And that's out number 3. So 6 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Reddick, Gurriel, and Beltran due up for the Astros. Cleveland with a brand new lead, 7-0. Or with a brand new extended lead, 7-0, top of the 5th. Mike Clevenger can feel pretty comfortable now. Almost got Reddick to go around, but he has to hold up. This one popped up high. Santana camped out under it. Infield fly, and that is out number 1. Uliski Gurriel. Philip Reynolds, game over. It just might be. 2-1 to Gurriel. No strikeout there. Fly ball into right field. Chisenhall makes the grab, and that's out number 2. Here's Carlos Beltran with 2 down. Mike Clevenger rolling through this inning. 1-4. And Beltran slams this one into foul territory on the right field line. Next pitch. Ground ball at second. It's past him, and Beltran is on first. Here's Brian McCann, who's 0 for 1. Batting .296 in the postseason. Pitch. Swing and a miss, and down goes McCann. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. It's 7-0 Cleveland. They'll have Chisenhall, Lindor, and Encarnacion due up for the Indians. Mike Fiers will probably go out there for the 5th, and then they'll have to go somewhere else for the 6th. 5-3. And it's going to be at the ballpark. Oh, boy. 4-6. Fly ball into deep right field. Back to the wall goes Reddick. Gone! Lonnie Chisenhall makes it 8-0. And the Cleveland Indians Philip Reynolds, not even Tony La Russa or Tommy Lasorda could help. And at this point, you are well over where the comfort level. I mean, you've got more runs that you have to make up than there's innings left by 2. Lonnie Chisenhall hits a wall scraper over right, and it's now 8-0. That's going to do it for Fiers. what happened there? Tony Sipp coming in for the Astros. And the pitch. Nothing doing there. So Lindor, who's 1 for 2 with a homer. Like to do something big here. Lined right at Altuve. He makes the grab. Here's Edwin Encarnacion. 1 for 1 with an RBI. He was walked his very first time up, then went around to get a single to score him. Range play. Who we testing? Fly ball, center field. Springer can't get to it. Encarnacion will get extra bases. He's in to second. Nope. I don't think Babe Ruth or Lou Gehrig could help. It's definitely not looking likely for the Houston Astros. 6-1. And this one, a fly ball into right field. Reddick makes a grab, 2 down. And Encarnacion holds at second. Jason Kipnis, 0 for 2, struck out both times. Sipp would love to make that happen again. 2-6. And it's not. Ground ball at Altuve, kicks it over to Gurriel for out number 3. So 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. It's 8-0 Cleveland going into the top of the 6th. Dixon, Springer, and Altuve due up for the Astros. Clevenger has yet to allow a run. 3-5. Ground ball hit right at Kipnis, kicks it over to Santana. That's 1. Here's George Springer, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 4-5. Swing and a miss, and down goes Springer. That's strikeout number 6 for Clevenger. Philip Reynolds, they need 2 grand slammies to tie. Just to tie. And with the way that Cleveland's been putting up runs, that isn't even safe. Pitch by Clevenger. Almost, actually not even close. He needed 8 or under, and he rolls a 19. So good call there by Altuve to hold up. And the pitch for fly ball into left field. That's going to get down and past Brantley. Bounces off the wall. Altuve uses his wheels to round second, and he's got in there for a triple. And Clevenger takes a step off the mound, takes his cap off, wipes the sweat from his brow, and gets ready to face Carlos Correa, who's 1 for 2 with a strikeout. 2 down. 4-1. Fly ball left field, but it hooks foul. 3-4. This one single past Kipnis, and Houston's on the board. Clevenger would like to make it to the 7th, but we'll see if that happens. Marwin Gonzalez, the switch hitter. 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Nope, not happening, so. Pitch to Gonzalez. Single into left field. Correa goes to third, and it's runners on the corners, and that's going to do it for Mike Clevenger. 5 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run. It's earned, but he is responsible for the 2 on the base pads. 6 strikeouts. Great outing from him if they can get out of there. See who they bring in. Andrew Miller will come in for Cleveland. He'll face Josh Reddick, who's 0 for 2, 3-6. And this one, ground ball at Santana. He taps the bag, and that's going to retire the side. So 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. It's 1-8, or 8-1, excuse me, Cleveland. The Indians will send out Yan Gomes, Michael Brantley, and Austin Jackson in the bottom of the 6th. Tony Sipp, we're going to start him. We need something big if you're Houston. Raymond Gudon coming in for Houston. They've got to stop the bleeding. I mean, look at this. 1-6-1-0. Very few blanks there for Houston. 5-3, and it's a single pass Gudon. Yan Gomes gets the hit, and now that sets it up for Michael Brantley at the top of the order. He's 2 for 3 with a double. Gudon takes a deep breath. Philip Reynolds, I ordered something today. What'd you order, Philip? And this one is another single up the middle. And that's going to do it for Gudon. The Houston pitching does not have it today. The most important game of their season, and the pitchers just don't have it. My goodness, this is an absolute tragedy for the Houston Astros. Austin Jackson due up. He'll face James Hoyt. Nobody down. Runners on first and second. Range play. 1-5. Fly ball into right field, and it is caught by Reddick. The 1990 World Series on APBA. APBA. I've actually never played APBA. You're going to have to let me know how that is. Yan Gomes holds at second with one down. Jose Ramirez, 1 for 3 with a double. Hoyt trying to figure out a way to get out of this one. The pitch, and Ramirez holds up. Will have to come from him. 6-5. This is a single past Gurriel. Bases loaded. 1 out. And this could be it right here. If they aren't, I mean, it probably is it for Lonnie Chisenhall, who's got 1 homer, 3-6. They got to strike him out, and they do. Big deep breath by Hoyt, trying to get out of this without allowing a run. Francisco Lindor, who's 1 for 3 with a homer. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Strike 3, down goes Lindor. Clutch pitching by James Hoyt. Philip Reynolds, it's my favorite baseball version. Your favorite baseball game, huh? I guess I'll have to check that out. Andrew Miller will face Uliski Gurriel, Beltran, and McCann. The Indians going in the top of the 7th, lead 8-1. Houston has got to get it going. They've got to get it going now. Called strike 3, and that's not going to do it. Right now, you can feel the panic starting to setting in for Houston, knowing that they've only got 2 more chances after this, and somehow, some way, they need to get 8 runs to win it. 7 runs to tie it. Almost walked Beltran, but that isn't happening. 2-2. Popped up high. Kipnis makes the grab for out number 2. Good outing so far by Cleveland. They had Clevenger hand the ball off to Miller, and they're hoping to have Miller hand it off to Allen. Almost striked out McCann. Almost. But he gets the special K against McCann, and we're stretching. It's 8-1 the score. Cleveland just 6 outs away from their 2nd consecutive ALCS, and they'll host it against Boston starting on Thursday. Game 1 of the NLCS in Atlanta, where the Braves will host the Phillies, will be tomorrow. Game 2, and this will be the NLCS schedule. Game 1 tomorrow, Game 2 on Thursday, Game 3 on Saturday, 4 on Sunday, 5 if necessary on Monday, 6 on Wednesday, and 7 on, if necessary, on Thursday. ALCS schedule, Game 1 on Thursday, Game 2 on Friday, Game 3 on Sunday, 4 on Monday, 5 on Tuesday, if necessary, 6 on Thursday, if necessary, and 7, if necessary, on Friday. Hopefully those won't be necessary, because I would like to start the World Series a week from Saturday. But we'll have to see. James Hoyt will face Edwin Encarnacion, who's 2 for 2 with a double. Philip Reynolds says, cards are easy to read and all you do is check the book for results. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into that. Striking out Edwin Encarnacion is James Hoyt here in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch to Santana, who is 1 for 3. It's a range play. I want to make sure I got the right 4-4. 2-5. This one, fly ball into right field. Josh Reddick successfully ranges over to grab it. 2 down, and here's Jason Kipnis. Philip Reynolds, that's a good day, yeah. I like to start my World Series on Saturdays because then it's game 1 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, 3 on Tuesday, 4 on Wednesday, 5 if necessary on Thursday, and then you got Saturday, Sundays for 6 and 7 if necessary. Seems like a pretty good way to end it. James Hoyt with the pitch, expertly placed, and they go down 1-2-3, a no-hit inning. No errors either. Dixon, Springer, and Altuve due up for the Astros. It is their last chance. Next Saturday is the best day of the year. Why is that? Is that your birthday, Philip? Error check on the throw. Thomas. Come on, buddy. 4-6, single into shallow center field. It's down, and Dixon is on with a leadoff single. That'll do it for Andrew Miller. Yes, well, happy early birthday. Got any plans for that day? Nick Goody coming in to take the ball from Andrew Miller. As George Springer, looking for his first hit in 3 tries, will be due up, and they walk him. Here's Jose Altuve. 1-4. Called strike 3, and that's out number 1. Here's Carlos Correa. Philip Reynolds says unknown on plans for his birthday. My wife's birthday is just in under a month. I already got my birthday shopping done. Figured it was probably smart since I order stuff on Amazon with how long they've been taking lately. Philip Reynolds says possibly some History Maker golf. You know, I've been interested to try the play games. I don't know. I guess the price point just isn't. I'm just not okay with their price point at the moment. 1-2. This one into left field. Left field past Brantley. Brantley, that's a double, and we might have a runner. All right, lead runner advances, so Springer makes it 3-8. Trailing runner is thrown out on the cutoff. So Correa thrown out, so the bases are cleared, but it's a 5-run game, and now maybe if they can get one more run across, this could be very interesting. We'll see who they decide to go to here. Dan Otero with 2 down, nobody on. Marwin Gonzalez, who's 1 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. I have seen videos of that. Philip Reynolds says red, white, and blue racing is awesome. I have seen videos of that. How cool would it be if Play Sports did the same game engine, but they did that with cycling? With what me and my brother are doing. If they were able to do that, that would be something I'd be tempted to buy. Swing and a miss, and down goes Marwin Gonzalez. So we are headed to the bottom of the 8th. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Astros. And it's 8-3 Cleveland. Yan Gomes, Michael Brantley, and Austin Jackson due up for the Cleveland Indians. Philip Reynolds, I'll be doing demo racing Sunday. We'll have to check that out after me and my brother's race and then whatever baseball games I got planned for that day. The way the schedule goes, well, I'll be doing a game on Sunday. At least one, I'd imagine. Hoyt to Yan Gomes. This will be the last one he faces, and he hits Gomes. Gomes not happy about that, and that's going to do it for James Hoyt here in the bottom of the 8th. Yeah, a Tour de France race would be neat. I cannot wait until we're done with these one-day. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am enjoying these one-day races that me and my brother are doing, but we've had some talks about the Tour de France as Francis Martes is coming in for Houston. We've had some talks about how we're going to do the Tour de France, the Giro d'Italia, the big ones. It should be really cool. I plan on getting History Maker Baseball soon. I've heard lots of really cool things about that game. I do like that it's story-driven. So that's another reason that I'm interested in them. But just where I'm at right now with finances, I don't think I can justify paying $50 for a brand new game at this point in time. Or around that. I know I'm probably off by a little. Brantley strikes out, and it's one down. Here's Austin Jackson, 1 for 4 with a double. I've heard a lot of good things about payoff pitch, too. A lot of guys on the FOC like that one. Wild pitch by Martes, and that's going to move the runner. Pitch to Austin Jackson. 2-4, popped up high. Dixon camped down under it, makes out number 2. Here's Jose Ramirez, who's 2 for 4 with the double. Batting 190 in the postseason. 1-5. Didn't get the strikeout that he wanted. Fly ball into center field, and it's caught by Springer. We're off to the top of the 9th. Houston has to score 5 runs in order to even force it. Philip Reynolds, LOL 50. With everything I wanted to try, about 150. Thus, you can see my dilemma in getting in a whole new game engine. I have all the games for Inside Sports, and that's the most expensive license fee to unlock the games. I have all the games for Inside Sports. So I guess I'll just kind of roll with what I have for now. That does not mean in the future I will not be trying play games, because those games definitely do interest me, especially the red, white, and blue racing. I would love to do that. Dan Otero here in the top of the 9th. Kicks and fires. No wild pitch, so fouled off by Josh Reddick. Houston has to score 5 before they get 3 out in order to force the bottom of the 9th. The pitch. And it's not going to be a strikeout, so we'll roll on Reddick's card. 4-3. Ground ball at Ramirez. Back to Santana. That's 1. You're out. Oh, that's troubling to hear. Philip Reynolds says my 1976 season would not download. Have you emailed Bill Salm over at Inside Sports Games? He usually gets back to me within about a day. Dan Otero with the pitch to Gurriel, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. 2-2. Ground ball hit at Lindor. Back to Santana. And the Houston Astros are down to their final out. Well, I'm sure he'll get back to you. He's usually pretty prompt about getting back to people. Carlos Beltran, who's 1 for 2 with a walk. The Cleveland Indians 1 out away from going back to the ALCS. The pitch. And he didn't quite walk him. We'll try it again. 6-5. Fly ball into right field. Chisenhall makes the catch. And the Cleveland Indians are in ALCS bound. What a job by the Cleveland Indians. Mike Clevenger gets the win. Brad Peacock with the loss. Home runs by Houston, none. Francisco Lindor goes yard for the first time in the postseason. Lonnie Chisenhall for the second. Let's find out who our player of the game is. Cleveland, let's see. 3 of 5, 2 of 5, 1 of 3, 1 of 4. Clevenger, though. I think we're going to have to give it to Mike. Mike Clevenger will be the player of the game. And now the Cleveland Indians will set their sights on the ALCS, where they will host the Boston Red Sox right here in this very stadium in Game 1. Boston and Cleveland, one of them going to the World Series to face off against Philadelphia or Atlanta. Either one of those possible matchups could be great. go ahead and make sure we got that done. Final score 8-3 in Game 5. So that's it. Your NLCS starts tomorrow in Atlanta. Philadelphia versus Atlanta in an NL East showdown. And in the ALCS starting on Thursday afternoon, the Boston Red Sox will visit the Cleveland Indians. Will it be Boston versus Atlanta, Atlanta versus Cleveland, or will it be Philadelphia versus Cleveland or Boston? Either way, any one of those matchups will be fun when they happen. Right now, my money would be you've not seen Philadelphia play. They took care of Colorado, which Colorado is actually my pre-playoff favorite to win the NL with the way that they were playing on this game. And they almost did it. There was a player on Colorado who had 3 home runs in game 3, but the rest of his team just couldn't do it. Philadelphia manhandled Cincinnati. Look at that, 7-2, 3-2, and 7-5. So Philadelphia has only lost 1 game the entire postseason. And Atlanta swept in the wild card series, and then took New York 5 games to get there. And then in this one, I'm going to give the nod to, you know what? Our Red Sox fans not going to like me for this, but I'm picking Cleveland. I think we're going to see Cleveland versus Philadelphia in the World Series. And if that's the case, then Game 1 would be in Cleveland. But yeah, Game 1 of the NLCS tomorrow in Atlanta. Your final score of Game 5 of this ALDS: Cleveland 8, Houston 3. The Cleveland Indians are headed to the ALCS for the second year in a row. It might have actually been the third. They might have lost 2 years ago. Let's go ahead and give you a quick look at the history of this thing. Come on. Computer, why are you running so slow? And if it is Philadelphia versus Cleveland, I'm picking Cleveland to win the World Series. They came so close to winning it last year. Here, let's look at... this is the first time that Philadelphia, I think, has made a significant run. Here's the first time I did this project. Let's see. Baltimore, Houston. Yeah, Cleveland didn't make a run then. Cleveland lost to Boston in the ALDS. Okay, Cleveland beat Boston in the ALDS. Okay, so they have been to the ALCS the last 3 years in a row now. They lost in 6 in 2017, and then in 2018 they won in... They swept Kansas City. So that's how that is looking. All right, so let's... has Philadelphia... I don't think Philadelphia has ever really done anything. So good for them. Atlanta, on the other hand, I don't think so either. So I think either way, Washington, who's had an iron grip on the NL since I started this, their time is up. So again, your final score, 8-3, Cleveland in the ALCS for the 3rd year in a row, hoping to make it to the World Series for the 2nd year in a row and correct what they couldn't do. Look at this World Series was a classic. Cleveland won 3-2, game 1 3-2. Washington won 6-5. And by the way, this World Series Game 7 was in Cleveland. And then it was 10-9 in Game 3. Game 4, 5-3 Washington. Game 5, 5-4 Cleveland. Then 1-0 in Game 6. and that was an extra inning game, and then 6-3 in Game 7. I'm going to have to go back and watch that. That was an awesome series. So, again, your final score 8-3. Cleveland will face Boston in the ALCS. Thank you so much to Philip Reynolds for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys next time. Tomorrow, the NLCS Game 1, probably a little bit earlier in the day. I'll have to check my schedule and see what's going on there. But that's going to be a fun one. Thank you so much for tuning in, and take care.